Biafra na meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra Tell me what we do, everybody want to kill us. They want to take what belongs to us. Try. We they love our neighbors, so we they love ourselves too. So it is written in the holy book. You find a channel, na meheranyi biko kodo onyolu welu mono aya na meheranyi do onyolu welu mono onyo chai chukwu kikele anyị na bogi bia nyela the time is now. We want to go. Remember your promises. Oh, na me onuzo ke Biafra meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra na meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra meheranyi onuzo ke Biafra Ndiro maranyi buruburu anachi wepundu anyị n'ike shata oh they are holding our lead Mazinambika now is Prime Minister Mazi Simon Obatobie we shall rise and defend our land the land of rising sun is our hope Yogi bikonu sitende muziki kamehe iwele
Merry Christmas to all Biafrans across the world and lovers of freedom. You are welcome into the United States of Biafra. This is a platform that stands in for the United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi. Today, under the order of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. This is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform where we bring updates coming from the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Information is coming directly from the United States of Biafra government. In this platform, we say things the way it is. Whatever you didn't hear from the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, does not exist. The only platform genuinely fighting for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra today is the United States of Biafra government under the order of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, until our Prime Minister joins us very soon. In this platform, we say things the way they are. Please like and share this video to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. And pay attention to this video I'm about to play. Whatever war you are waging today, whatever attack you are doing today against the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, is against the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Anybody that speaks or stands against the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, is against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. That is why you must be careful what you do. You must be careful what you say. You must be careful the angle you are going. Because you think you are fighting the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, but you are directly attacking the Prime Minister. And the consequence for attacking the Prime Minister or the office of the Prime Minister is heavy. For those of you who did not know, I am going to play this video to remind you of the consequence of fighting against the office of the Prime Minister. Fighting against Mazi Simon Ekpa, whom the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, is representing today. Whatever you think you are doing against her is not against her. Your fight is against the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And there is a heavy consequence for such moves. Those of you blackmailing, those of you going on different angles, on different levels to attack her, I am sorry for you. Some of you have not learned your lesson. And some of you who are new, I want you to listen to this very video I'm about to play. After listening, you will decide either to continue on your evil art or not. It is unfortunate that some hearts are sealed, that some people are so evil that they cannot be able to know between the good and evil. It is unfortunate that this video I'm about to play, even those who knows about this video are today going against it and fighting against Mazi Simon Ekpa indirectly. And I want you to pay attention to the video. At the end, you will know where you have to stand, and you will know what your fate is. If you continue to attack the Deputy Prime Minister, the office of the Prime Minister, the consequence is heavy. Watch from beginning to end. I bet you will never remain the same. Let's watch.
That are trying to confuse. Again, when I say confuse, there's a reason why I say confuse themselves, not Biafrans. They are trying to create that confusion. And that is what they are paid to do by the Nigerian government. To create that confusion publicly and privately among themselves. To paint a picture as if there is two government under PM Simon Ekpa. Please do not be deceived. We cannot give these criminals the attention. We cannot give them that oxygen to breathe. We are the oxygen that they breathe. And if you do not give them that oxygen by making yourself available or engaging them, they will all disappear. The reason why it is very, very important for Biafrans to know that, I'm going to say this in an Igbo adage again. Oko osimiri anọkataghị rie onye ọhụụ okwu ya n'anya. For these criminals to even convince you, for these criminals to even have the opportunity to talk to you, for these criminals like like Sonny Akparawa, like Oge Nkere, like Imam Maduabo, like this will be Nadi, Chiomo Okoma, Joy Irobi. For these criminals, Okeo and their likes, to even come near you, that means you must have put your leg or your body near them. That's why I said, you must make yourself available near them for them to tell you their stupid stories. If you don't go near them, they cannot have the opportunity to tell you their crazy story. How can somebody say that he was appointed by CRC, Conflict Resolution Committee, that the Brigade Cabinet had a meeting and dissolved officially? The Brigade Cabinet officially conducted a meeting and dissolved the CRC headed by this Imam Maduabo. Okay, no. By a vote It was voted on. The vote was about 20 or 21 to 9 by the Brigade cabinet under His Excellency Simon Ekpa. We took a vote, and that was like 2-3 weeks ago, I can't even remember, to dissolve the Conflict Resolution Committee, which is just a mere committee working under the government to resolve issues. If there are people that have problems and we do not want them to disturb the government, we just push them to those people. But we dissolved this CRC when they stepped out of their boundaries to write a letter to overthrow our Obatobie, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Without the approval of the Brigade cabinet, without the approval of the government, without the approval of any leadership of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Immediately, they didn't see Obatobie 1 or 2 days. This small CRC committee that they said they elected their fellow criminals to lead them went and wrote a letter, and that letter, I believe most of you have seen it online, to overthrow our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, according to them, to appoint somebody that will take over Obatobie's position. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has laid a solid structure for Brigade and for the United States of Biafra from day one, from beginning to end. There is no vacancy anywhere in the government under Obatobie, not even one. But to show you how criminally minded this CRC, headed by Imam Madabo and Professor Chomo Okoma and their gang, John Urabi is, they know that Obatobie has a structure in place. They went ahead to write that letter, that illegal letter. And when that letter, and again, I hear somebody was saying, the Imam Madam was saying, they wrote the letter. And what they wanted was after we come back from Finland, they will start discussing the letter. But they already circulated the letter to the whole world. Anything you post in a place where there are more than 3, 4, 5 people online, it's going to go to the whole. How are you going to secure that it's only just those 5 people? That is why when we have meetings like this, we know the whole world is going to know what we are saying. They're going to hear what we are saying. You're going to deceive yourself if anything we say is not on BBC or CNN or in the Defense Army or the Zoo government or the home. You're going to be deceiving yourself if you think it's not going to be known because it's online. So when they say that they wanted it to be discussed after we come from Finland, but it is these same criminals that went and posted it on the Brigade Cabinet Forum. That Brigade Cabinet Forum, we have over 60-something individuals there. How do you expect that to be private? And they forwarded it to me. This same Imam Madabo, he forwarded that criminal letter to me. That he and his group, engineered by this Ogenkere, they wanted Ogenkere to take over Odogu's position. That was clearly just what that letter says. And that was why we have to call an emergency meeting of the Brigade cabinet members to discuss the letter that has been publicly displayed. It's not as if the CRC made that decision and kept it to themselves. That would have been a different thing. If they've made that decision, kept it to themselves till after Finland, they can say, okay, they're going to present it to me. I am the chief of staff. There is a reason for that position. Just like everybody here have their position, which they played for the Biafra government, given and approved by the Prime Minister. But no, what they did was to post it publicly on the Brigade cabinet, where there's over 60-something people, post it privately to some Brigade cabinet members, which I am among the people. I received the letter from Imam Madabo. and they know they do not have the right to do what they are doing. Conflict resolution is just a very small, one of the smallest committee we have under the Biafra government to resolve disputes that arise. Maybe two brigade cabinet member, maybe they don't like themselves, or somebody said this, or somebody gossip, because we do not want them to disturb the activities and the functionings of the government. That was why Obatobe established that government. So now, when the brigade cabinet called an emergency meeting based on this thing, during that meeting, this same Imam Madrabu that signed his name on that overthrow letter, we, the cabinet, many people, we reached out to him. We were calling him to come into the meeting and explain to us the meaning of this letter that he wrote, he and his cohorts. We were waiting for Imam Madrabu for minutes, for hours during the cabinet meeting. He refused. He disappeared. He didn't want to come into the brigade cabinet meeting. But his signature was on that letter to overthrow Obatobe, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, and appoint a replacement, when he knows that Odogwu already have a chief of staff. It falls within my office if there is a need to replace any staff under this government, both in this USB and on the brigade. But because they have their own agenda, because they know who they are working for, their intention was to disrupt what Obatobe has put in place. When brigade cabinet member waited for him to come and explain, we waited throughout that meeting. He didn't show up. Many people reached out to him privately to tell him to come into the meeting. He refused. So always watch their trend. When we have brigade cabinet meetings and we invite these criminals to come to the meeting and officially explain themselves, their trademark is they always refuse to come in. But they will feel comfortable to go behind and be lying to Biafrans. They will feel comfortable going behind to be lying to Obatobe. They will feel comfortable going behind to disrupt the facts and confuse those who they were able to confuse. Imam Madabu refused to come to the cabinet meeting. Then you know that the COS does not know. If you decide there's something you know that this government does not know, then you are on your own. Anything that happens to you, it is not my concern. It is not the concern of this government. But if you step outside the box, outside the plan of the Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, you cannot go far at all. And I keep telling people, so that individual went ahead to be lying to people publicly that, oh, COS did this, COS do that. Again, I'm not going to get into their little childish, I call it childish lies, that COS did not do this, COS did not apply for Biafra ID card, that COS was against those doing ID card. Again, Biafrans, let me show you. This is my Biafra ID card. This is my Biafra COS ID card for the Biafra government, United States of Biafra. This is the front and this is the back. I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding my ID card. My information is on the public domain. So when people like that, those that listen to idiots, criminals like Bam 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 tells you that the COS did not apply for her ID card or don't have it, you have a question today to go and ask her, Nnam, I thought you said COS does not have ID card. That he showed it to us today or during the Asia Middle East visit. That will show you Biafrans that are following these criminals. Following these criminals knowingly or unknowingly. You know the truth, but you want to be following them. You are doing a great disservice, not only to the United States of Biafra, not only to Obatobe, Because some of you, I know the trust Obato Obie have on some of you. I know how high Obato Obie holds some of you. So when you go ahead and start following these criminals, you have a question to answer to Obato Obie. That's all I can tell you. Stand in the path of truth. Do not follow criminals that lie against COS or against, and again, I keep telling Biafrans, this is not about me. So those of you that keep saying, oh, COS, and again, I understand and I hear when people say, COS, I support you 100%, but it's not about me. It's not about our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. It is not about His Excellency Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. It is what all of us have collectively labored for the past 2 years, to ensure that our country stands, to ensure that this kind of criminality being perpetuated by these individuals that are parading themselves to the people, the unsuspecting Biafrans, we want to ensure that criminality that is a cancer, we cut it off from day one.